So I kept thinking today, like, okay, I'm on day 9 of Carnivore. Good job. I've been doing high dose vitamin C orthomolecular nutrition for the past month. I've been walking high mile walking for a whole month, and I just jumped into training not even a couple weeks ago. And I was like, why am I so lame today? It's like, well, you need a day of rest, right? So I'm taking a very rare day of rest, and I'm realizing my joints hurt, that my body needs recovery because I'm eating better nutrition, higher forms of nutrition, a larger skew of nutrition than I probably have in close to 25 years. I'm taking in beef liver every single day. I'm encouraging my son to take beef liver. I got him some niacin. We're going to be working on his schizophrenia. We're going to try to dial that back the best we can. We have to. We're in an emergency situation, so we really have to do that. No joke. Got to take it seriously. So my body wants to recover. It's not like I'm enjoying it. I really feel like I got to get up and train. But this is the first time in quite a while where I'm tissue building. I'm doing, in effect, what needs to be done. These gray hairs ain't going to reverse on their own, are they? This hairline isn't going to come back on its own. The elasticity in the skin isn't going to come back on its own, right? We're getting everything that we need, all the constituents that we could possibly think of. And now we have the arsenal of really being alive and existing in this time where all this information is available to us, right? But still, there's a lot of ignorance that abounds, so we have to constantly challenge ourselves and learn more, right? And integrate what we know or what we're learning, which is the most important aspect of the process, is to understand it and to file away that motor neuron bit filing so that we can draw back up on that experience. So that's what we're doing right now, and it's an exciting time. It's really nice to go back and go, okay, I've done this before, just last year, in fact, right? And was victorious. And the only reason I came off of that is because I hadn't discovered the power of beef liver. And that was something that ChatGPT helped me out considerably with. So I really appreciate that. Thanks, ChatGPT. So a lot of the things that I study and I research and I put up on this channel have directly to do with things that I'm working out on my own, right? The microbiome, how do we get around that? Stalling out my metabolism, how do I get around that? Making sure that I have everything, but not too much of everything, right? Copper and vitamin A and iron, I want to boost those up, but how do I ensure that, I'm getting the heme form of iron and that I'm right? So beef liver has answered many of those problems. And there will be a time when, I'm cycling back a little bit, which today reminds me of that. What happens when you get ultra lean again and you're going back down to that last level and your body's fighting you? Are you going to remember to take in these nutrients so that you can fight through to that next level, that champions level that I used to hit every single day all the time back in the day? So it's that time now, and I'm excited about it. But we still got a little ways to go. 2 weeks ago I would have said I could do it within the next 5 weeks. There's definitely, it's not going to all happen within the next 3 weeks. I could get a lot done in the next 3 weeks, but it's going to be another 5 or 6 weeks. So it's it's a 2-month process, especially where I was starting out. So I was really pleased with the power I was generating, the performance in all the different planes of motion and exercises that I was able to go through, right? To critique the workouts that I had. But obviously the muscle isn't trained, requires blood flow, requires, the microtubules, right? The capillary bed density, right? And, we're going to need to push harder and create more effort and continue on with this perfect diet and nutrition plan that I'm on right now. And then eventually be able to afford doing things where I'm adding in a little bit more microbiome support, fermented foods, fresher cuts of meat if I continue on with that. If I start to do some G&G and going back to some carb cycling, where I'm super compensating a couple times a month like I have, to be able to buy the very best, the best organic fresh produce, which you can get around here. This is like the produce capital of the whole state still, I think, around Salinas area. So you can get the best produce around here. So, we're pivotal. We're in a good position right now. And I've got all the supplements that I need. It's mainly magnesium, vitamin C, and like I was saying, more fermented, microbiome supporting nutrients that I have now. I'm just dealing with it with apple cider vinegar. I realize that's not enough, but it's something, right? And I put down below in the community post how that works. So that's where we're at. And hopefully we're going to be able to expound upon that and make things even better. So look out for some good things to come.